Hello and welcome back to Isla Glades. Thanks for joining me. It's been a pleasure having you along the journey. So in today's episode, I think I'd like to build a new neighborhood. So I've already started framing out the area. And really all I did to kind of get this started was I drew a road that kind of just followed the shoreline here. And then I kind of picked I want to say something like 14 units, enough to leave like a gap in the road here. And then just drew another road that kind of followed and kind of just roughly followed that, and so on and so forth. So if you're having trouble, breaking the grid, you get stuck in gridlock, so to speak. Oftentimes it's just easy enough just to either turn this map on here and kind of see what the terrain's doing. If you got hills and mountains and stuff, or if you got like coastline or other features, something like this, just start drawing. Just use the basic dirt road and just draw and follow that shape and just kind of see what happens. And if you don't like it, all you're doing is spending some money on some dirt roads, so who cares? Just blow them up and draw again. And then once you're kind of happy with it, convert them to the roads you want to convert to, and just keep in mind that these roads suck up an extra tile and space. And I know I want to have like a main road that kind of falls down the middle. That way people can, on both sides, I try to avoid two kind of main concepts when I'm building like my neighborhoods and my areas. I try to avoid putting the big road on the outside. A lot of times it's a lot better to put on the inside. That way people will use both lanes, because there'll be people that live on this side of the street and the people that live on this side of the street. If you put it just on the outside, they'll only use basically one road, one lane, and they'll all just turn in. If you put it over here, they'll all just make rights, right? And then also I try to avoid using a big road like this to split my residential and commercial areas, because all the residents want to go to the commercial areas, and once again, what you'll have is people just kind of wanting to make this kind of a turn. Not that many people going this way. So, in this kind of scenario, put your commercial down here, put your residential down here, put like a green space between them, so to kind of separate them a little bit. Draw, maybe not connect these roads here, and then once again, that way people will use all sides of the lanes, and then they'll go all the way down and use all sides of the lanes down here. So this is going to be all residential neighborhoods. So in this episode, I think what I'd like to do is just kind of show you like the progress, go over kind of like the plan. Then I'll cut you off and bring you back kind of like this. You can see the results, and we'll just go ahead and go through, and hopefully over the next like 40 minutes or so, maybe an hour, we'll go from this to going to see like kind of where the services go, to kind of seeing the final layout, and then seeing the buildings come up, and then maybe seeing some detailing. So I look forward to seeing you back here in just a moment. Hello, welcome back. Thanks for patiently waiting. So I went ahead and got our power and water in, as well as I got some education in here. We got the death care. I know this is going to be kind of a larger residential area, especially down here with the high density. So we got the elder care and the daycare. Went ahead and put in this metro station here from the new creator pack. It's got the pass-through in the center here, as well as the platforms on the outside. So I'm interested to see how that works out. And went ahead and did a little bit something a little bit more unique here in this area with the traffic park in the community center, gymnasium, and skateboard park. And I plan on putting probably a fountain in here from the campus. I also did some interesting zoning. You can see how it's just kind of like random like shapes. I'm interested to kind of see how this plays out. So I'll go ahead and start zoning and bring it back once things start filling in. You be good. Hello, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. So I'll just go ahead and just kind of show you some of the progress we've made so far. Kind of got like most of this stuff done in here. Looking pretty good. We got some detailing to do, which I think will be next. Went ahead and got the metro running. So that's in and running. People are starting to use it. And we got a couple things done down here. Some of these buildings. I think it's looking pretty good. And I'm kind of working in this area right now, getting this thing kind of where I wanted to go. I got a couple nice little like apartment complexes. Hoping to pair up some buildings that kind of look like they go together. And we'll go ahead and like I said, detail some of this stuff. Make it look good for these guys here. Alright, well, next time I'll bring it back. Hopefully we'll have some more filled in. Okay, we've gotten a little bit farther in our progression with this neighborhood. As you can see, did some detailing in here. And this kind of cluster of buildings, this turquoise color, it's really come out nice. You can see the tram kind of winding in and out of that area. The tram's doing really, really well, so I'm really happy with that. Did a little bit more with the self-sufficient over here. Kind of brought some other buildings in and kind of once again grouped them together just to kind of get a feel of connection and kind of continuity with them. Working in this area still, and that's going to be kind of my main focus next couple streams, as well as did some detailing and stuff back here and working on some of these buildings. And I really like how this kind of group of buildings is blending in really nicely with the high school over here. And I think I'll see you shortly. Hello and welcome back. Well, I think this neighborhood is finished. I'm really happy with the Natural Resort Park. I ended up putting this in a few streams ago. It was quite the feat to get the flow rate coming over here, where these kind of like two rocks are in this fishing pier. To get the flow rate to equal the evaporation rate of this kind of like lake area. But I think it's pretty solid, pretty good. Every once in a while I get like a little, you know, water on that track, but then it just flips out and goes away. So it's not really that big of a deal. And I might play with it a little bit more to make sure it's kind of dialed in. But I like how the park came out. I mean, this looks pretty good. It gives a nice green space in this part of the town. I really like how the detailing came out. It really makes this neighborhood shine. I'm really happy with this area over here with these cluster of buildings, how they kind of came out. I like the self-sufficient area down here. It looks really good. The trams bring a nice touch to the transit, and the trams are running really well, moving quite a bit of people. I ended up putting in like some rocks and stuff over here by this bridge just to again just give it some character. And down in this area, I started doing a little bit of fencing, some detailing, just to kind of once again bring out the detail in it, just to show the different houses. You can really get into the detailing side of this game and put all kinds of stuff in their backyards, some from the props area. And it can make it really pretty space, but of course it takes a little bit of time to do it. And I encourage you to take the time, maybe not to a super extent of like spending your whole entire life trying to detail this one block, but I would say maybe every 3 or 4 hours of build, sneak in an hour or so of detailing, kind of and also detail kind of as you go, and you'll be really happy with how your city looks. I think this area turned out really nice as well. I mean, I like this kind of like community center vibe, a pool, gymnasium, a little like almost like a go-kart track for kids, skateboard park. I like these kind of cluster of buildings that popped up. They look really good. I like how these like apartment buildings are very similar to like the high school, so they really blend in real nice. I like how the metro kind of turned out. It's looking pretty nice here, especially from this vantage. Kind of swooping up. I really like the idea of kind of using the terrain to bring it up instead of like having like that we had before, kind of like some spans and bridges. But instead of doing that, actually like ramping up the terrain a little bit. I just think it looks better. It looks more like thought out, if that's the right word. Like more engineered, and probably more realistic. Because in reality, I feel like, and I probably said it many episodes before, that it's more cost effective, in the real world, to move the land and make the land kind of permanent. Put some concrete around it, put some stones, whatever they do, keep the land in place, and then build on the land, build a land ramp instead of building like a elevated kind of like track ramp. Because then you got to maintain it. You got to make sure underneath is all good, doesn't rot out. You keep it painted, all that fun stuff. I really like too how like I did with the mixing of the zoning. It comes out really nice here, and I think I might try it again. I did like this different zoning in here, kind of mixed it up in here, especially like in here. And you can get like this. You just get like this different buildings kind of popping in and out. So it's not like kind of like a designated area of those kind of buildings, but it's so it just brings a nice variety to that spot. So you get like some vanilla kind of like buildings, and then you get a couple, self-sufficient buildings, and you might get a couple of European suburbia style buildings, all kind of like clustered in on, like, say, the same block. And this brings like a lot of variety to the neighborhood there. Well, let's take one more look at it from this vantage point. So I hope you enjoyed this more compressed, kind of like a time-lapse style video. It just gives me the opportunity to see a neighborhood kind of spring to life over a short period of time while you're drinking your cup of coffee. And we'll probably end up doing a couple episodes where, especially like the downtown area, where we go actually a more step-by-step process. So that'll be stretched out over maybe 2, 3, or maybe even 4 episodes. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I wish you the very best in whatever you do after this. And as always, happy building.